What's up and welcome guys. Today we're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a little while. We're going to do some research and find out all the Braille members that have left the company, why they left. I've spoken to a few of them myself, so I've got some legit answers, and we're also going to do a bit of speculation to some of the ones that they've just decided to brush to the wayside. Now Braille like to do this thing where they just get rid of someone or let someone leave, never mention it again, and just hope people forget. So what we're going to do today is try and fill in the gaps of where some of these people have gone using some evidence from online, some theories from Reddit, and just some speculation from yours truly. So with that being said, the list of people goes on, right? So the list, and this isn't going to be a super high production, highly edited video because that's not how we do things on this channel. I like a more genuine style of content. So we're going to be going over, in the order of leaving, Lance, Kelly, Luke, Fetty, Carlos, McNugget, and Mowgli. Hopefully they left in that order, but you guys can correct me in the comments. And I've got some information from the horse's mouth themselves. So with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. So the first person we're going to be looking at is Lance, right? If you don't know Lance, he was the, as they call it, the hashtag skate god when things first started. Lance was, let me find this. Unless we're doing a Scientology video in the future on Aaron, don't get me wrong. Right, so we're going to full screen this, and this is when Lance left. For those of you that don't know, Lance was, I'm just going to mute this while we go over this bullshit. Lance was the one that first started the company with Aaron, and basically they taught him how to skate like live throughout the video. So it was like a whole progression series. It was really cool watching Lance because he didn't start skating until he was like 30 plus, and he actually got pretty good, like backside flip down the stair set, varial flips, multiple other flip tricks. So I've got mad respect for Lance. He did good. Now there are some theories that he left to join Scientology because that was the way Braille was going at the time. And obviously we know Aaron is a big Scientology guy, which is weird as hell in my opinion. After doing a bit of research into that and watching the Scientology episode, which maybe we should do a reaction on, by the way, because it goes into some crazy stuff. But anyway, so Lance basically left, and they said that it was to pursue another job somewhere else. So we're going to watch some of this and find out for ourselves.
Hey, this is literally going to be my last video on Braille. This is probably going to be a shock to a lot of people. It's kind of one of those things that, how do you even tell people about this?
I think this was before Braille was sold to like a mega corporation, so they actually used to have some personality in their content. Braille now is kind of like a ready salted packet of crisps, or like the original Pringles flavor. It's kind of alright, but you don't really have that much of an opinion on it.
But it is real.
See, look at that. That's a huge ollie for someone that didn't start skating until they were like 30.
Oh my gosh! That was incredible. That was amazing.
Fat heel flip.
I've never done that in my entire life. What just happened?
It's quite wholesome to watch, really, man.
You made it! You made it!
Man, old Braille used to be so good when it was like Aaron and a few of the other boys. Now it's just kind of like so forced. And don't get me wrong, right? I did used to love Braille, and I hate talking dog on people that don't deserve it. But Gabe, there's something about him that just seems so like forced. I just don't really rate it. I'm sure he's a great guy, don't get me wrong, but just not my kind of style that I like to watch. Right, let's fast forward to the part where he tells us why he's leaving.
I've been working at Braille for a long time. I remember Aaron and I going to a skate park, and he asked me to help him film. So we didn't even really know each other that well, but I worked with him. We filmed some tutorial videos, and then
I didn't even know they didn't know each other that well beforehand. I thought they were like lifelong friends.
Some little skate clips together, and then we just kept working together, and it kept getting bigger and more popular, and you know, it just grew into what it is today. And it's been an incredibly fun ride. You know, we have so much fun filming, and I love interacting with you guys, the audience, and everyone else that we work with. It's just, I'm basically gonna be pursuing a different line of work, and I'm gonna be moving away from this area. We have the Braille House established, so I won't be able to make videos anymore.
Well, there you go. That pretty much concludes why Lance left. He just wanted to pursue a career somewhere else. Maybe it was in the Scientology field, maybe it wasn't, but who knows? Not that it matters really anyway. Like, that's his own life. He could do what he wants. But in my opinion, it's just not for me. So that was Lance. Now we're going to go into the next person, who's the next person that left? I think the next person that left was Kelly. Now, if you don't know Kelly, Kelly was actually a beast on YouTube nowadays. Kelly's super, super cool. So Kelly left Braille like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and now he left to pretty much do his own YouTube channel. He actually probably did the best out of all of them because he left, joined as a kid, learned how the YouTube channels run and how video production is done, and now look at this man. He's got a channel with 1.53 million subscribers. I'm sure a lot of you probably know this already, but he does some really freaking good videos, man. And he's uploading daily at the minute, and they're still getting 100k, 200k videos. So he's outgrown Braille by a massive amount. Just for and by the way, this is a one-man team, or he's probably got an editor. But let's have a look at him compared to how Braille is doing these days. Like Braille has 5 times the subscribers, and they're doing 20%, 5 times less views, which is like hilarious considering how good. And like these videos, man, don't break the tech deck, 11 minutes, the world's first Bluetooth skateboard. Like these videos don't, using sharpest sandpaper, DIY grip tape, these videos don't need to be 20 minutes long. You could get through this content in like a couple of minutes to 6 minutes at most, and they just pad these videos out, which I feel like is why they don't do that well, man. Like for a channel with 6 million subscribers, it just feels disingenuous. You're forcing out so much content. It just feels like a content machine these days rather than an actual like heartfelt channel, you know what I mean? So that was Kelly. We don't know why he left. I've done plenty of research, but there's no video on it. They didn't do a video on it, so I think this is the point where Braille stopped actually acknowledging their members and the work they did. They just kind of let them leave without saying anything, which sucks. Like if you watch someone and it's like a character in a show, which is basically what Braille is, then you really kind of want to know where these people are going, even if it's just to say goodbye. Like they don't have to tell you what they're doing if they want to keep it private, but just say goodbye, man. It's like I feel like you owe that to the viewers if you're doing this. At least that's my personal opinion. Like I wouldn't just quit YouTube overnight and not say anything. People have invested their time in me, so why would I take the piss out of that by not investing at least 5 to 10 minutes of filming to let people know why I was leaving? Anyway, so that was Kelly. Next we have Luke. So Luke also, again, didn't get a video as to why he was leaving, but where is the channel? So he did a Q&A 2 years ago. This is quite a long time after he left, by the way, and Luke was a very similar age to Kelly, who also went to pursue his own channel right here. He's got 373,000 subscribers, so obviously doing very well for himself. And the only thing I could find about him talking about it is this little section in his Q&A video of why I quit skating. So let's put this on and see what he has to say.
I never really quit skating. I just don't post as much skate content anymore. There was a time where I only posted skate videos on my YouTube channel, or on my Instagram was all about skating, rather than now I do a lot of just random stuff or whatever I think would be fun.
So it seems he's very much followed the same sort of pathway as Kelly.
And the reason for that is I just don't want to make it like a job. I'm forced to like skate when I don't want to. Sometimes if you're out filming skate content, 2 hours you're filming a trick, right? And then you finish that 2 hours and you have a 5 to 10 second clip in the...
So if you're filming 2 hours for a trick and you're only posting the actual make, post a little bit of the build up, let people know how many attempts it does, even if you just time lapse it, because just showing a trick that took you 2 hours and make it look like you did it in 10 seconds is a little bit disingenuous, takes out of the story of the clip, and it's just a waste of your time if you're going to film all that footage beforehand and not post it on there.
Video, and then you still have to do like 8 minutes of skating. It's pretty hard, so I have respect to a lot of the skaters. And then also I just feel like I'm not a good skater to always like be skating and making skate content.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough. So that is why Luke left. He doesn't say specifically why he left Braille. Maybe there's something in their contract that says why they can't talk about it, because it seems that there is not really any official videos on any of these apart from Mowgli. And the funny thing is, Mowgli's the one that actually spoke to me directly, so I've got information from him and as to why he left. So I think next we will cover Fetty. Now, I did a video on this before. Let me go to my channel real quick. So I did this video right here. Basically what Fetty did was he had a slight situation with an underage girl, if you don't know, but he ended up not getting in any trouble for it because basically there was no evidence to prove that he did anything with this girl, and there was evidence to discredit the girl and say that she lied. I am no lawyer, but one thing I do know is his reputation was certainly scorned from this. I'm not going to go into this video here because you can watch that separately if you'd like to, but basically Fetty was fired from Braille for that exact reason, for the controversy behind it. And then when he was found innocent of the crimes, they never did anything for him. They never brought him back, and there was all sorts of stories that that because Fetty broke his jaw right before he left Braille, apparently Braille had agreed to pay for his jaw surgery because it happened while he was working for them, and then because they fired him, they then refused his surgery, and if it couldn't get any more worse than that, he then got cancer straight afterwards, like proper like leukemia. Like he lost all of his hair, had to go through chemotherapy, which is like some of the worst things you can see. I've seen my old dear go through that. I've seen my mum go through that, and it's some of the worst treatment you could possibly wish on someone. So Fetty really went through the ringer to be accused of SA, fired from his job, ridiculed by the whole community, and then get leukemia. That is some heavy shit, man. Like, he tried to come back for a little while, tried to do some streaming on Twitch, but as far as I'm concerned, Fetty hasn't done any social media or posting in like 2 years or so. But some people have speculated that he's died, but I can tell you that that is not the case, because I saw Nigel talk about it in one of his clips or on a comment somewhere, and he basically said that he still speaks to Fetty every now and then, because them two were boys growing up, you see. So that's what happened to Fetty, and Fetty was gotten rid of, and again, they didn't say anything about it. They just fired him, and then when he was found innocent, didn't give him a chance to come back, which I think is pretty messed up. Like, if someone gets acquitted, at least give them a chance, give them the job back. But yeah, Braille is a pretty shady company like that. They don't like to address these things, innocent or proven otherwise. Following on the same suit of Fetty, we will go to Carlos. Now, I've also done a video on this, and as you can see right here, the Carlos Lastro situation is disgusting. That's another one of my videos. Basically what happened here, if you can go watch this video if you want, but I'll give you a quick lowdown on what happened. Carlos had made a bunch of videos saying that why he left Braille was because of this, because of that, with John Hill, and that was basically all BS. Nigel then said in a podcast that if people knew what he knew, that they wouldn't fuck with Carlos at all. So I made a video speculating on what that might be, because if you're putting out that kind of energy, people are going to want to know, especially if they're a fan of Carlos. And it turned out that there was multiple accusations and some minor proof, as well as now a damning interview from Carlos basically saying that he did a very similar thing to what Fetty did, but there's actual victims in this one. It was a very similar situation to what happened to Fetty, except Carlos didn't have any proof to make him innocent at all. If anything, he just damned himself when he did an interview with someone else on YouTube, which is included in my video as well if you want to go watch it. And he basically was accused of inappropriately touching an underage person and also sending naked pictures while drunk to said underage person, not to mention showing up to work to teach kids while drunk, and he admitted all this in the interview, so this is all 100% confirmed. The only thing that's speculation is the touching of the underage person, which when questioned about it, he didn't even deny it. He just said, yeah, I could have done it, I was too drunk, basically, I didn't really know. So if anything, that is all the evidence required in my opinion. If you knew you didn't do it, you'd be very passionate about not doing it, and you'd also be very passionate about clearing your name. So that's Carlos, that's why he left. Again, Braille didn't say anything about him and has still failed to acknowledge it. And when people watched my video and then took that information to Braille, Braille played dumb and acted like they didn't know anything, which is even more toxic than any of the previous ones in my opinion. Little disclaimer, I did reach out to Aaron with the information and he said he was writing a police report up. So a lot of you guys said that because it was 5 years ago, nothing will happen. But I tell you what, the statute of limitations, which is the law that you're referring to, doesn't apply for crimes of this nature. So do a little bit of research before you drop a comment, because a lot of you guys are fucking idiots. Don't get me wrong. A lot of you are great, but some of you guys, brain dead. Anyway, on to the next one. So next we have McNugget. Now, Chris McNugget, right? This is a guy that was actually a pretty safe guy. I've spoken to him a few times on Instagram, but there are multiple things that happened, at least apparently happened. So we're going to go through this Reddit post here because there's some proof behind it. I saw in a video that Ricky was talking about the fact that he was betrayed by Chris McNugget. There was theories that it was because McNugget owed him money. There was theories because Nugget apparently slept with Ricky's girlfriend. I don't know the facts. I only know what I've read online. So we're going to go through one of these posts and see what happens. I'm sure that those reading this are now aware that Chris McNugget has been gone from Braille for several months. Mowgli has stated in a few Braille Army videos that Chris is gone, focusing on his life and his new job in SoCal. Though it seems that the split has been not so amicable between members of the Braille crew. In particular, Ricky has been causing a lot of drama, first leaving Chris off his Braille tier list, along with Fetty, which seemed to cause rumours to circulate giving a similar ghosting of him on the channel. Again, Braille didn't say anything about it. Then he pretty much calls out Chris for not responding to questions on social media at the beginning of his recent response to Mowgli's goodbye video. In my opinion, it sucks that Chris just left without saying goodbye, because selfishly I enjoy watching him in videos, but honestly, I don't blame Chris or anyone who uses social media for their job for leaving. It's also tiring, and Chris strikes me as the kind of dude who prefers reality. And then someone said here, not sure about this, so take it as gossip. Heard that Chris left because he had an affair with Ricky's girl. Again, not sure about that. Honestly, it is their business. If it is so, I understand Braille's decision to let Chris go. So who knows? Maybe that was why. Maybe he just felt like he wasn't welcome there in the family anymore. But again, Braille didn't say anything about it. They just let him go and expect people to not notice, which is ridiculous in my opinion, because people ask me all the time to cover the situation with Chris McNugget and find find out where he went. But to be honest, last few times I've spoken to Ricky on Instagram, like first he offered me a collaboration with him. I said, yeah, sure, we'll do that down the line. Then I asked him a few questions, like just general YouTube advice, like how he deals with hate comments, and he just left me on red. And to be honest, I can't really mess with that energy. Fair enough if he doesn't want to talk to me, but he was the one that offered the collaboration to me first. So I don't really know what to think about that, but we'll move on. So next we have Mowgli. Now Mowgli is the only one that actually made, outside of Lance, that actually made a video as to why he was leaving Braille. And we're going to play a bit of that, and then I'm going to speak about what Mowgli sent me, because I asked him the question on Instagram.
I just want to kind of just focus on myself and see what else I can do with my time. As for the board company, why I left as well, because I just saw it as a new beginning. I'm not talking to any other board companies or sponsors. I'm just kind of winging it. I don't even know if there's a company for me to be a part of at this point.
I've got to say right here, Mowgli is probably my favorite Braille member out of all of them. Every time I spoke to him online, even when I had like a really small amount of followers, Mowgli is the most genuine person that I've seen out of all of them. If you've seen his podcast interview of Lamont Holt, he just comes across as such a cool guy, man. I definitely rate him and would be down to hang out with him in the future.
Skate. I love skating so much. I love pushing myself to skate. And with that being said, I just want to say thank you to Aaron and everyone at Braille, because through y'all, I was able to grow, skate so much, more than I ever have in such a long time. It felt like I was just a kid. And I was just...
Yeah, so Mowgli is obviously a proper genuine guy. Let me just quickly go through my Instagram DMs, because I did speak to him about this. So I reached out to Mowgli. Let me just screen record. So I reached out to Mowgli and said, yo, man, I'm doing a video on every Braille member throughout the years and why they left the team. And I was thinking, instead of any speculation, it'd probably be best to ask you yourself. Would you perhaps be willing to do a quick interview for it, or maybe just talk on here if you'd rather? Let me know. And he said, for sure, you can just send the question or however you want to do it. And I said, so my dude, what's the reason behind you leaving Braille? Feel free to reply with text or voice note, whatever's good for you. And he just said, my contract for their pro team was ending back in the end of May last year, and I wanted to try and get on Powell. I just wanted more for myself in terms of skateboarding. And I said, that's a fair answer, man. I don't blame you. Powell would be a good fit for you, for real. And he just said, I just got to keep putting more work in to make it happen. So I honestly wish Mowgli the best out of all of them. He's definitely the most genuine guy, like I said. And I think that is everybody that was on Braille and why they left, outside of like filmers and stuff like that. This is the skate team. So if you want to let me know some guys in the comments that I may have missed, I think that was an interesting one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.